Hi, today I'm going to show you how to vary your curls with the iron and a couple of tips and tricks that will help you to get better curls and achieve the curls that you're trying to get that day. So I'm going to start out by showing the guidelines, the two brown lines on the side. We're going to always start with those facing towards our scalp. Always start here, and then you can turn or vary your curl. When you get more proficient at it, then you can start by, different angles. Like with me, I always start with my guidelines like at the angle I want, but then it's a little bit harder for you to get the hair in it. So just make sure you start by being able to get the hair in it, which means the guidelines towards your head, and then you can turn and get the curl that you want. One of my favorite curls, which is kind of like a plane coming in for a landing, that kind of angle. So we're going to start by going in at that angle. So this is my plane coming in for a landing, and then just glide it towards the mirror. That's one of my favorite. I like that one as a good basic, and it always gets a nice like swoop here. That's something I really like. Another curl is come in, guidelines to your head, rotate it towards the mirror, and then we'll keep it nice and vertical this time, not like the plane landing. And as you're doing that, you tighten the curl just a slight bit more, and it becomes a little bit different. That one doesn't show super well on my hair, but you can see a variation on other people's hair. It'll be a big variation. So those are two different angles to really toy with. One of the things that I keep seeing people do is they want to run through the hair super fast. Like they're coming in and going like this and then not getting a curl. Well, you need to take the time to heat it up. I mean, think of how long you sit there with it being on a curling iron, how you sit and hold. We don't need to do that, but you do need to take your time with it and really glide. So this time I'm going to go totally horizontal. And what that does is really opens up the curl. You can see how much bigger it gets here and then how much bigger it comes out here. So this is 45, and this is totally vertical, and this is totally horizontal. So if you want to go somewhere in between, and this is again kind of like the airplane landing, but it's just a little bit more towards horizontal than that. And then it kind of changes because the hair gets longer too. So what I did there is I really dropped out the end. I didn't curl it all the way to the end, and that I think finishes very well with when you're almost horizontal and then you let go. Then you have, it's kind of a nice wavy look, and I like the finish to the wavy look to be more like this. But I mean, you can vary it in any way, shape, or form that you want. Those are just little things that I've found that are helpful to people as I've been teaching people how to use their time. Okay. Another way to vary a curl is to go in. This time I'm going vertical, and I'm really rotating really far away. I'm past what I can see in the mirror for the guidelines. And I'm really taking my time on this one because this one I want to be a really nice tight curl. So you can see how much that varied, the two curls. Okay. So if we want to go, like if somebody has really super curly hair and you want to get like a ringlet kind of curl, then you come in, you wrap the whole hair around and just go. With this one it's tough because you have to be real careful not to go too tight when you wrap it around, because then it can like pause on you too many times and like put the brakes on. But that can get you a really tight curl. So the more the hair wraps around this side, the tighter the curl gets. so you can see how much those varied. Okay, so another way to vary a curl is the tension that you use on it. So this one I'm going to go really, really tight. And I find that people that do it really tight and they're like breaking, a lot of times end up with a lot of crease marks and then just no curl at all. For me, that's not how it works. It'll get really tight. So you can just change it just by like varying everything so slightly. So you just have to decide which one works for you and what curl you're going for that day. Okay, let's do a really loose, beachy curl. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to keep it kind of at an angle, but not a heavy angle, and I'm going to just not hold it in very long. So that's a really nice curl too. I love how that one looks, and I use that one quite a lot. My hair holds curl really well, so this would be in for like a week and a half, I'm sure of it. Just looking just like this, I don't think it would ever change. So you can take a very big section, come in, guidelines towards your head and then towards the mirror. I find a lot of people are flipping it around and things like that. And they don't go in with the guidelines towards their head. They start like this and then go in. And you can see how you can see the guidelines in the mirror to start, but you don't want to. You want to see the guidelines towards your head and then towards the mirror. Okay. For the left side now, what a couple of tricks you need for this side. When you come in, I want to make sure that you watch the brown guidelines with your eyes, not in the mirror, okay? When you come in, watch them come up over the top. So to get it over the top and make sure that you always do this on the left side, put your elbow up in the air. When you put your elbow up in the air, it naturally makes you dive into the hair instead of going up under, because when you curl like this, you're going to curl towards the face, and I'll show you that, but I just don't want that at my face to start, so I'll show you that curl later. So how to start curling on this side, up over the top, lift your elbow, watch your guidelines, and then turn your guidelines towards the mirror. And I'm just starting with my favorite angle because that's natural to me and that's what I find I use most of the time. So that time I kind of held it at an angle. This time I'm going to go very vertical and bring it towards the mirror. Another helpful hint is you see how spread out this is? The more spread out it is, the more spread out the curl is. So if I wanted to vary that and get like a more pinched kind of curl, even if I take almost the same amount of hair, and I haven't tried this, I've just noticed people doing this, so we'll see how this turns out, is you go in and you pinch the hair all together, and mine doesn't pinch very well, it just kind of spreads out. So I'm going to try and keep it pinched, and you should see somewhat of a difference, and it's more exaggerated on other people probably than it will be on my hair, but you can see how, like down here, the difference, how it pinches versus here it's all fanned out. So the more you spread out the hair on the plates, the more spread out and wide your curl is going to be. I found that's really helpful for people with fine hair, because when people have fine hair, if you spread it out, it really makes it bigger, which I think a lot of fine-haired people appreciate. So that's a good helpful hint. So if you want to curl towards your face, on the left side, you come in from the bottom, guidelines towards your head, and then turn it, and then you can go towards the mirror or out to the side, whichever one's more comfortable for you. And for me, since I don't do this one very often, I drop the hair out, so I need to pick it back up and hold on to the hair. That's a big key too, is holding on to the hair and feeding it into the iron. That helps a lot. So you'll see how that one turned towards my face. And on this side to curl towards your face, then you come in over the top and then see the guidelines that way. and that will curl towards your face. Creasing up here. When you come in, if you squeeze really tight, and it's hard on thick hair, it doesn't crease as much as fine hair does, but if you squeeze really tight, you can cause creasing. And that's a problem a lot of people have had. And fine-haired people, I find that if they squeeze really tight because they're used to like an iron that's not as, doesn't have titanium plates or something like that, they squeeze really tight and then they're getting frizz from that. So just make sure you loosen your tension. All you want to do is make sure you hold it in tight enough for just for the plates to hold it, and that's it. Like just so that the hair doesn't slip out of it. I'm going to use the motorcycle analogy here. This is my new favorite. So when you start with the guidelines, then you squeeze it and then you vroom it towards the mirror. So it's like you're giving throttle on a scooter, a motorcycle, a four-wheeler, whatever it is. You just always want to vroom the motorcycle. The more you vroom the motorcycle, the more you give it gas, the more curl you're going to get, the tighter your curl is going to get, okay? So when I come in over the top on the left side, then I vroom it really far. And so if I want to go really far, okay, there. So then it's really wrapping around this back side, and that's what's creating the curl. And that should get really tight curl. Okay, so more horizontal. I'm going to get another kind of curl. And how long you glide it, like when you go faster, you'll loosen up a curl as well. So that time I both went fast and went horizontal. So it made the curl really like beachy, wavy kind of look, which I think is fun. I'm going to curl towards my face again. And I'm going to curl horizontal towards my face. That's another thing you can do, is you can vary it anything in here and that will all curl towards your face. Okay, so one more. I'm going to curl towards my face and then let it go partway through. There, I squeezed too tight, so I created a crease there. Okay, so I kind of let go here because I think that's a really nice look as well. And you might even want to go like a little looser than I did, not vroom the motorcycle as much on that if you're going to let out the bottom. So, but you can just be the judge of how you want to vary that. Okay, so that's pretty much all curled. I've got one little piece. This is a good tip too. If you know you start the curl and then you go down here and you go real fast and then you don't get a curl, then just pick up. See, I can see my curl has started there. So it's pretty good up until right here. So instead of going back and reheating this section, just pick it up where the curl stops forming and take your time and go a little slower. And when you do that, then you just pick it up. And then you haven't hit this piece twice. I only want you to hit it one time, pass over, and be done with it so that you're not hitting your hair over and over with heat. So this is my mix of curls. Hope you can find one you like. Thank you for watching. Bye.